Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of Feed the Beast. People don't seem to like bees that much, so I'm going to do another episode on bees just to spite you guys. I'm totally kidding. That's not what we're going to do today. I did want to show you this real quickly. I finally got the pure industrious and pure imperial bees, and they make royal jelly and pollen. And so I just have my little auto setup running, and I ended up with a chest here. I've got about 2.5 stacks of royal jelly, almost 2 stacks of pollen, and a bunch of extra stacks of bees. And to my knowledge, these stack because they're exactly the same. So I can come in here whenever I want, drop 64 of these dudes in the analyzer, and then they get melted into liquid DNA. And we're also doing pretty well on the honey. So I'm having a lot of fun with this. I need a bunch of pollen and royal jelly to make the alveary or alvearies because I want to make, multiple ones. I did get this cool stuff, magic wax. It comes from the charmed bee, the otherworldly comb. And I somehow managed to breed a tropical bee that gave me sugar in addition to the silky comb or whatever that stuff is. So there's just an update. Like I said, I'm not going to do a lot with bees anymore because, well, it's a lot of tedious stuff, a lot of repetition. People don't really seem to like it. I do, but that's just something for me to do on my own. So another cool thing, we almost have filled up the biofuel tank, which is pretty awesome. And I tested out the mob grinder thing with conveyor belts. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm about to set up one for the server. And how I'm going to do it is, I'm only going to do the XP part with skeletons, since they are 2 blocks tall. I'm going to knock out the bottom row here, all the way across. It's 9 by 9 on the inside, so I've got the 9 turtles. So I'll just have conveyor belts on the floor, and if we take away these blocks, the everything will be like these 2 conveyor belts. So all the XP will just flow out here. Maybe we'll do brains in jars at some point, but I haven't really been doing a lot of Thaumcraft research lately because I've been busy with the bees. So, we'll see how that goes. So, I have so much stuff. I'm so unorganized. It's time to get organized. My quarries have been treating me very well, as you can see. I am now avoiding all of the Zycraft stuff, including aluminum. I'm pretty sure that's a Zycraft thing. So these get voided along with dirt, cobble, and gravel before they even go through the processor. We have a ton of diamonds. I was lucky enough to catch my quarry when it got to around level 15. I run in here. I've got Fortune 3 on this pick. And I just, whenever a diamond was revealed, I'd go whack it with the pick, get a ton of diamonds. And if you leave them on the ground, the quarry will pick them up, or I just put them in the ender pouch here. So how I want to how I want to organize, I figure it's time to do applied energistics. And I still don't trust it. So what I think I might do is go ahead and make a small system and run a quarry and feed everything that's new from the quarry into the ME storage using an import bus. And if we run over to Sam's place, he's got this already set up. And I was looking at his, and it's so awesome. I never used logistics pipes, but I heard that they are comparable. I think this is a crafting thing. ME molecular assembler chamber. It's a multi-block thing. If we go down here, you'll see this. It takes up a lot of space. And I want to get to that eventually. I just realized I can't I can't get out of here. I want to get to that eventually, but that's a little further down the road. So let me do this the hard way since I can't get out of there. We'll just link book our way back. So the basics of this, I'll show you this real quick because I'm assuming any item in any eye will work in the system here. The main things we're going to need the controller, which is this block, and it tells you what's in the system. I don't know if you eventually need more of these or not, but it seems to show everything. We're going to need an ME drive and some disks. The pre-formatter is optional. I will make one at some point just so I can pick certain things to go on certain disks. And then we also need the terminal, which shows you all the items. And you can sort this thing. You can sort it by all of these things. You can sort, up or down. And the cool thing is, if you do view craftable, anything that you have set up in here in the assembler patterns, there's one for an electronic circuit and he's got one for the copper cable. So if he puts his rubber and copper in there, he can make that. And if he puts this in here, he can make that. If it has the materials, you can craft it. And I haven't clicked this yet, but it looks like it'll make, as many as you want, if you have this stuff in there to make it. So I'm going to assume that it made those, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I hadn't messed with that a lot. But it's a way to set it up so you can automatically craft the things you need. When I type circuit, it only shows the circuit. There is a crafting monitor, and it shows you what you're currently crafting, apparently. I don't know how long that takes, but it may be because this thing is in here. I don't know. All I know is that you can make the thing craft for you. Use this to basically set the recipe on these guys. From what I understand, it's kind of like the plan in a project table. And then you've got, I'm pretty sure this is the import bus. And it pulls from the ender chest. If you right click it, there's an interface. You can set it to move single or stacks. You can set it so that, it does whatever you want with a redstone. But really all we need right now is a terminal. So if I view what's in here, if I just drop that in there, there it is. If I'm sorting the other way and I don't see it, I can scroll to it. Or I can just type T, it'll show me everything with a T in it, or it'll give me this. So if I need to make something and I have a terminal right next to a project table, I can come to this thing, I can get whatever I need. Say I need iron, I can type iron, it shows me all the things with iron in the name. If I need gold, I can do that. And that's not a very good example, but I can shift click things, it'll give me stacks if I want. And that moved because it's sorting right now by number of items. If you right click, it gives you half a stack. And you left click, it gives you a full stack. So this thing is pretty cool. It's all in one place. He's running his off EU. We're going to run ours off of MJ because I haven't started Industrial Craft yet. He's got all that crazy stuff set up. Let me make sure I didn't take anything I wasn't supposed to take. He's got a room over here, and he's basically sucking the nether dry. This is a lava tank normally, but he's got 8 geothermals on MFEs, and each one of these has 8 geothermals and 1 MFE. And then he's got, I think this is the industrial blast furnace, the industrial grinder, and then he's got centrifuges and electrolyzers and stuff. scattered throughout. He does have a matter fabricator. I guess this is it. And that's running off of, I'm not sure if it's running off an MFE or an MFSO. Obviously it's an MFSU, but he's got all this stuff. He's been working on this for a while. So if you look, he's got a terminal right here. I think this is the crafting terminal. And if you put a regular terminal here, I guess with the crafting terminal you can craft, or you can just grab stuff, it looks like. So you might as well make the C terminal, because it does everything. So that's what we're going to do. Basically, the things we need are the drive, the controller, and the terminal, and some cable, and then a power source. So I've already kind of started making these things. If we look at the recipes for this stuff, if this thing will catch up with me, I have to make, like, for instance, the controller, that takes the advanced processor, which is this thing. Remember, we made those basic processors, which was gold right here instead, and then you cook it. There's an alternate recipe for the gold one where you can do it in an assembly table, and it takes one less redstone, and it doesn't take that knife. But I haven't yet set up my assembly table, so I cannot do that yet. So we have one disk already. I'm going to make the controller, the terminal, and the drive. And I have the chest here, which I don't know if I'll use it for anything or not, but I have some stuff on here. So I'll probably put this drive in there, and what we can do is we'll just kind of set it up right here and run it off an energy cell or something. I think I have, ooh yeah, I still have a couple of them. So we can put it on an energy cell and kind of play around with it. And then what I plan to do is probably hollow out another little room right here. I will put the rest of my combustion engines and probably 2 energy cells in line so that they never run out of power. And then basically, I don't have anything on me, I can use pistons. Energy cell here, energy cell here. This one feeds this one. This one should really never get empty. When this one fully drains, the engines will kick on to fill it up, and then it'll start filling this one again. So this one might start draining a little bit, but it should never actually completely empty. This one will completely empty, but that's no big deal because it's just kind of a buffer. So not a big deal at all. So what I planned was hollow out the wall right here, put all the discs and stuff in there. If we make that crafting thing like Sam has, we'll put that somewhere in there as well. And then we'll just run cable everywhere. I believe the cable will transport items and energy both to all connected ME devices. So we really only have to power the controller, and we can put the controller anywhere as long as we have a terminal to access, you know, wherever we want. So we could put a terminal here, we could put a terminal over there, we can put one upstairs, we could put one just about anywhere. I would like if it was wireless so we could have one in a different age, but I don't know if that's a thing. So I'm going to make the controller, the drive, and the terminal, and then I will be right back with you, and we'll kind of just check it out. I have 2 discs already, and then probably next episode, in between, I'll actually set up the room, and then we'll work on the import bus to automatically feed items in from the quarry. So let me craft these things, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I've got our 3 basic things here. The cable is kind of a pain. you can make different colors. I'm guessing that's just so you can segment your network if you want with, different colors. I'm not really sure. I haven't really done anything with it except for just play around with Sam's setup over there. So we'll just go ahead and make a bunch of those. Let's get some more of this redstone. And I want to go ahead and make the cable just so I can verify that the thing actually sends power across it and items across it. Alright, so we've got our 3 things. 1K storage. Here's my 4K storage. And let's take an energy cell and some conduit. I think I'm going to have to kill that Enderman. Alright, so we'll just set that up like that, and we'll hook that up directly to the controller. And it tells you how much energy it's using per tick. 6 units per tick. That's of MJ, obviously, since that's what's hooked up to it. So if we run some cable, let's put the terminal over here. I want to see if the devices will actually see each other, like transmit. So normally you'd think that you would need to put a cable here and then put this in front of it, but you don't have to do that. You can just put it in between. Whoa, if you can place it correctly, you can put it in between the cable, and it looks like the terminal has power. That doesn't have any drives in it, but it does see the drive, and it does see the terminal, and it's using 9 MJ now. So if I click these guys in here, now you see that they're both green, the top 2 slots. If I move it down, it's green on the bottom. It blinks when you put something in it, which is pretty cool. Just like a regular disk drive. And now we're using a little more MJ, but not significantly more. I don't really know what it uses for EU, and I can't really test that unless I go in there, and that's kind of a pain. It's cramped. So if we have our terminal here, I've already got some stuff on that one disk, a bunch of cobble and gravel. I can put all this stuff in here, and I always hit E to exit, just like turtles. Doesn't work. You have to hit escape. So let's see, out of curiosity, let's put something in our canvas bag. We'll put some apples in there. Put our canvas bag in the inventory. Now we have 6 of 63 types. Before we only had 2 of 63, but it's almost full of cobble and gravel, so it's taking up a lot of storage space. I want to see if it retains the inventory in the canvas bag. I'm sure it does. It does, so that's good. I still don't know if I trust it though, which is why I'm only going to put new things in here, and I'm just going to use all that old stuff if we happen to need it. So I wonder if we dump a bunch of stuff in here, if it'll actually take more energy, since it's more items. You wouldn't think so, but you never know. So let's fill up on a bunch of this random stuff. And we'll just, I just spacebar clicked. It put it all in there, but it did put a space up in the search box. So now we've got all this stuff in there. You see, this one is now red because it is full, and this one now has items on it. So now if we go look, the only disk in there just has basalt on it. And it looked like the energy spiked when I put that disk in there for a second, and then it came back to normal. Maybe that was just a bug, who knows. So that's pretty cool. I think you can make up to 16K storage. Yep, there is a 16K, but it takes this whopper of a storage block. But if you're going to do it, you might as well. The pre-formatter will actually let you set what type of item goes on what disk. So you could have a drive segment that you don't fire up all the time, or say you only want cobblestone to go on one drive. You can actually do that. So let's take all of this. That's kind of a pain to click it out of there when you want to empty it, but that's okay. Actually, I want all of that stuff. Let me see how I'm doing on time. Probably okay. So if we take this over to Sam's house, put it in his pre-formatter. This is why I want to do it, to try to kind of keep things a little more orderly when it's on the disks. Let's say I put this in here. I can name it. We'll just call it test. I can format it. Now when I mouse over it, it tells me what it is. But let's say I only want to put basalt in there. Just put a piece of basalt. And you can left click or right click. It doesn't matter. It's a ghost image. We'll just call it basalt and format. Now the only thing that'll go on this drive should be basalt cobblestone. And we're going to test that right now because I'm kind of curious about that. Whoa. Come on, computer. So let's get this one out of there. We'll put this one in here. And we'll try to put a tesseract in there. I cannot put the tesseract in there. I cannot left click or right click. If I shift click, nothing happens. I can put basalt in there. So that's a way to kind of organize your disks if you want. And I guess that's why it's orange, because it's pre-formatted. The other one, if we put it in there, it's green because it has space and it's not pre-formatted. It will accept any item. So now that that one's in there, now we can put gold in there again. And now we have 3 of 63 types. So, like I said, I don't trust it totally. So I'm going to use this for all of our new stuff and kind of see how it goes. And if we don't have any problems with it, then I will use it exclusively. Sam and I were talking about it. He doesn't fully trust it either, which is why he doesn't have important stuff in there. And I told him I was going to let him use it for 2 weeks before I started using it, but I took a look at his setup and I liked it so much that I have to have it. So I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put my terminals and stuff like that, but I probably will just make a little server room right here. I want to make it look like a server room if I can. Probably use like marble for the floor, since it kind of looks like the raised floor in server rooms, and this stuff definitely looks like computers. The cool thing about it is if they're all next to each other, you don't have to have any cable. Like I can have my controller there and it sees the drive. So if I put a disk in there, I can access it because it's adjacent, or I guess it's next to the controller. I'm curious, if you leave a disk in and break it, the disk pops out. So you cannot leave your disk in there. And I don't know what this does. If you guys know what this does, please let me know, because I haven't read up on this at all. I'm just kind of learning it as I go and playing around with it. So let me know what this does if you know. So that's going to do it for this episode. I'm still really early into this, so if you guys have any suggestions, by all means, please let me know, because I'm sure you guys have used this before, whereas I obviously have not. But I'll go ahead and just set up the basic things. I don't want to get too far into it until I hear your input, or until I can do some research. So that's going to do it for now. If you have any questions, comments, yada yada yada, please leave them down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.